We're going to start taking this thing apart here and try and get this whole front, the whole front bumper assembly off and anything that lies behind it. So we will just start dismantling, throw in a little bit of time-lapse photography and let it go. So we'll see what we get. Let's see what we're working with here. Well, I guess we can start with these couple of zip ties that we don't need. I just left those on for transit. Front bumper assembly. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Go and set him over here. Oh, for the time being. And let's take our screw and set it back in here, just so we don't lose it. Because that sounds like something I would do. There it goes. All right, you're in there. So I'm bringing you over here a little closer now. All right, so now that we're closer in, you can see we don't see any damage on the frame. No damage to the frame rails. Those are straight. Everything in here looks good up until we get to this piece here in the center. This kind of air intake box. So we'll take a look at getting this replaced because that is obviously shot. Here you can see the crash bar. It is definitely dented from hitting something, little kink. But otherwise, everything under here looks pretty well intact. So there's less work than I anticipated. So we'll go ahead and get this crash bar off of here. Next, have one of these that should go over here that's missing. Otherwise, I want to do a quick measure. Just make sure when we get the frame off or get this crash bar off, make sure that frame rails are level to the ground. I don't see any reason they shouldn't be. Nothing looks off. Just need to check the back side of the bumper here and see if there's any damage because it was sitting a little bit unlevel, so that may need to be moved around and put back in place. But otherwise, I do have a new one of these guards coming to new one of these trim pieces coming to replace this one that's damaged, but all the proximity sensors, they are still in the vehicle, and once I plugged everything in last night, they were working as expected, so that's awesome. Just a bunch of little nuts and bolts underneath that are missing. A couple little scrapes there, but nothing too severe. And honestly, really the only bad part of this bumper is right here where it looks like they cut it to get at something. And I'm going to give an attempt to do plastic welding. Since I purchased a new set of the insets for the headlight wipers. I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can do any painting on here and have it blend in well. If not, I fully expect on having to replace the bumper. So we will see how it goes. But now we'll work on getting off this crash bar. We got our crash bar off here, and you can see it is definitely bent. Granted, there's supposed to be a curve to it, but it shouldn't smile in the middle. I mean, I've got a big mustache. So definitely damaged from here, under here, and we'll just be replacing this, so that's not a big deal. This is about $140 to replace. We'll go ahead and keep it around, make sure we don't need any of the hardware off of it, and that's off. So now what we're left with for right now is down here, there's this cowl here, and part of the air intake cooling system has kind of been beaten up. So I'm going to find a replacement cowl. Hopefully I can get by with just this front piece here and not have to do the entire core radiator and everything else. So I'll go check out FCP Euro for those parts, scour eBay a little bit. We've got the one brake tunnel over here is good. Like I said, we have this one over here is ordered. Otherwise, the rest of our parts up here are looking pretty good. We have a little issue here with the quarter panel. This top piece needs to be massaged back over just a little bit to get the body line in with the hood. I may wait until we get more of the front end put back in place before I start tackling that, just so I know how far and where things need to move to. But otherwise, sure, it's going to be number of hours for labor, but you know, granted, this is going to be a lot of hours of work. I don't have a problem putting in hours because I enjoy doing it, and it'll be a great car for our family. But it's just kind of sad that it was totaled out from an insurance company. I can see why. It's a lot of man hours. They don't want to pay the shop labor for it, and going back and buying brand new parts, especially those headlights at $1,200 a piece, that starts to run up the cost. But you start putting in brand new parts that don't match the existing parts with any fade or wear on them, then you're looking at blending in the paint, you're looking at doing this and that, and your repair bill gets to be $7,000 or $8,000 very quickly. So I guess I send it off to auction, try and make that difference back on it, and somebody like me can go ahead and bring the car home. So again, front end is pretty much off as far as I'm taking it now. I guess the next step here is to pull this core support out. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch over here, 3/16 quarter over here, maybe. Nothing big. There's 4 bolts you loosen and the whole thing should slide back forward. And that should also help with our spacing to get everything lined up here in the front. So for now, we will just leave you with this. And next time we'll probably come back looking at the bumper, what's damaged there, what we can replace or what we have to repair. Or if we need a whole bumper altogether, look at pulling this forward, and hopefully some reassembly and some parts have come in by then. So thank you for watching, and if you like it, hit share and subscribe below, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.